all you wild YouTube fans out there. Your two least favorite critics on the YouTube are back at it tonight. I am Logan Myers. That's my good mate over there.
I'm Henry Hill, and we are talking horror tonight for our review for a movie that you recommended to me and have been talking about for a while. We finally got around to watching this. You watched it a while back. I finally got around to watching this over this past weekend, and it's a pretty low budget horror film from YouTuber Chris Stuckmann, the director. We'll be talking more about him leading up to it. But this one was a kind of a documentary style horror movie, a B horror movie here. And this one was called
Shelby
Shelby
Oaks.
Oaks.
I came back here to get Stuckmanized. That's right, Chris Stuckmann, writer, director, crowdfunded film here. I think the most money ever made from a crowdfunded film. Neon attached to this. Chris Stuckmann, people out there that don't know him, is a huge YouTuber. He's been around for a long time, over a decade, 15 years. One of the OGs reviewing movies. It really sparked our interest in, starting a channel those years ago. And here we are with his feature film here, Shelby Oaks, and basically it is more of a 2000s, late 2000s type of film, found footage documentary, but it basically sets up the paranormal paranoids, a small group of online investigators led by Riley. She disappears basically, and her older sister Mia is out, obsessed trying to find her ever since she went missing. And that's pretty much the setup of the film.
A very creepy film, very eerie, and yeah, told in the style of a documentary. Especially at the beginning, it feels like a straight up documentary actually at the very beginning of the film, but then it goes into being like a regular movie after that, after the setup in the beginning, this sister trying to find out what happened to her sister who was involved in the, paranormal stuff, very much in the vein of like, Zach Baggins and the paranormal investigators, going around and investigating to this place, this Shelby Oaks that used to be very popular, and some crazy things happened there, and it kind of turned into a ghost town. And there's also some, satanic cults and, a cult that's involved in her disappearance. There's some found footage that they find that shows like the last, recording of Riley. And the sister notices something in the window from their childhood, and that kind of starts to push the story forward, and you kind of get to know what kind of evil is involved in this. And we're going to find out whether Riley's still alive or not by the end of the film, and it's all going to be her sister going out and trying to figure it out, and eventually she gets some answers.
Yeah, without giving too much away. But I like the overall, just the vibe of this movie. I like the camera work. I like the spookiness to it. Color schemes and the darks had an eerie vibe to it at times. It was a callback to movies, the 2000s. It reminded me of a bunch of flicks back then. Found footage was like the big
Hmm.
thing back then. Paranormal Activity and
Yeah.
Blair Witch and all those kind of movies. But yeah, I thought this was unique and refreshing. I watched this and another horror flick back to back, and of the two, I really liked this one a lot more. And gave me the spooky vibes. And for Chris Stuckman, being a huge fan of his, I thought he did a great job directing and writing this flick. I don't get all the hate I've been seeing online saying it was like 4 out of 10 or whatever. I don't think it was
No
that bad.
way.
I thought it was pretty impressive for his big first feature length film here.
Yeah.
So kudos to him. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Neon flick here, very spooky. I didn't really watch any trailers before going into this, and I had a really great time with it. And I definitely rewatched this during the Halloween season too. This is a fun little spooky flick. So I
Mhm.
definitely recommend checking this out if you have not seen it. That being said, I'm gonna give Shelby Oaks. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. Stuckmanized hair pieces.
Yeah, this was well done. This definitely felt like one of those movies, like you mentioned, like a Paranormal Activity, a Blair Witch Project. Had that spooky feel throughout, this unsettling feel. And when you finally figure out what's going on here and like the kind of monster that's involved, it's pretty well written too. I liked what they did there. Definitely impressive for being a funded film here and his first film. Really liked what he did with this, introducing something you know, interesting to the horror genre here and, being more like a throwback horror movie rather than like a heavily like CGI'd, jump scare kind of movie. This one like preys on your fears and, your fears of the dark and your childhood like monsters that you thought of when you're in your bed sleeping and that kept you up at night and gave you nightmares. So very psychological too with this. And those are always the scariest, and then having to deal with paranormal too. I thought it was really well done, and after playing some Phasmophobia with you and then watching this movie, definitely got my fill of the paranormal from this. So definitely, yeah, I don't understand the hate for this movie at all either. This definitely wasn't bad. This was a really good movie, and especially impressive considering it was his first film and it was completely funded. So kudos to everybody involved here. Only one person I noticed from the cast, Michael Beach. Otherwise, all the other actresses here, the leads were great. Mia and Riley, those two actresses did a great job here. And with that being said, I am going to give Shelby Oaks. I think I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 haunted hair pieces.
So I want to hear from all you wild paranormal investigators out there. What did you like about Shelby Oaks? What didn't you like about it? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out these wild ghouls on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for latest, greatest TV, movie news and reviews.
So thank you guys for watching our review of Shelby Oaks, and we will be back very soon to review another horror movie that came out recently. It's directed by somebody that also shot his first horror movie many years ago with a young Bruce Campbell. We're talking about the director Sam Raimi, if you've heard
Who?
of that name. And he is out with his new flick, Send Help, starring Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'm Uncle Henry.
And I'm Groovy Bruce, signing out till the next movie review. Cheers!
Cheers!